The environment in Louisiana is all around us in the bayous and the rivers and lakes. But what do our students really know?
The wetlands are a coast that is wet by the ocean.
Lands can be found in Louisiana, where we live.
And by the coast.
By the bayou.
Coastal wetlands are like really mushy looking, and they're along the Louisiana coast.
The pre-assessment showed that students did not truly understand what coastal wetlands are, and we had to do a little bit of research and some study in class to learn some new words. The first step was pre-writing. The students had many great ideas. We decided to create a KWL chart to discover what we knew about coastal wetlands in Louisiana. Many students in this area had a lot of experience in hunting and going out into the marshes to fish, but they did not understand the many different kinds of marshes. The next step was the idea of drafting what we knew about marshes once we had studied the many types. Some of the types are brackish marsh, intermediate marsh, freshwater marsh, and the salt marshes that are along the Louisiana coastline. Students were very excited to write about something so close to heart. We decided that we would create 4 different types of informational brochures. One could be a travel brochure, another an advertisement, and then another would actually be a letter to an editor at a local newspaper expressing the importance of taking care of our environment. Once the students knew more about the project and the specifics, they were very excited to participate and think of creative ways to present the information. Students were encouraged to do research at home to find out more about the local area and wetlands in Louisiana. The next step was to do their first draft. Their first draft was brought into class the next day, where students shared their draft with other students. As we went to edit the first drafts, many students decided to create different projects to go along with the brochures or advertisements they had already made. As we edited, we created for several different audiences. Some students created for the hunting and fishing audience, while others created children's books. The children's books were meant for nieces or nephews or neighbors nearby, where the students could go and share and talk about the environment around them. The objectives for this project were not just about writing. They were also about informing our community about coastal wetlands, marshes, bayous, and rivers that surround our area, the impact they have on our communities, and the impact our communities have on them. As the students created their final drafts in the revising step of the process, they discovered that they had learned a lot more than they had started with about coastal wetlands and marshes in our area. They had a lot of fun doing it because they were able to be creative in their methods and given options. Many students enjoyed this project because they said it gave them the free will to choose what they wanted to learn about, but also because many of them lived right next to places like Lake Verret and Bayou Lafourche and the Mississippi River that surround our area. They were encouraged to learn more about what had happened in the past and what was happening today in our environment. Here are some of the final projects.
For my Louisiana Wetlands project, I made a booklet called My First Louisiana Wetlands Book by Laney Burgess. On the first page it says, a coastal marsh is a low, wet grassland was created when sediment collected at the mouths of the rivers as they entered the Gulf. And that's a picture of a coastal wetland. Okay, my second page.
I made a Louisiana marshlands booklet, and the purpose was to teach other kids about the earth. The first page says, Louisiana is known to have marshlands. A marshland is full of muddy water and old trees. It sounds nasty, but it's actually a beautiful place. There's a picture of a tree in water, in mud. Louisiana marshlands are full of...
This is my Louisiana project called Adventures in the Marshes. It tells you about the come visit us and like all the fun stuff that you can do. It tells you that you can come hunting, shooting for duck, and how to clean the fish after you catch it.
Save Louisiana Wetlands. We are learning about wetlands and LA history so we can teach others how important it is to preserve the wetlands. As you can see, this is a booklet on how everything you do affects the wetlands. Like, for example, one person, if you can help out, make a difference, Louisiana's wetlands can be preserved. Like today, if we keep up the wetlands, it will be very abundant like it is today, but if we don't, it can go down.
Hello, this is my LA History project. I've made a children's booklet. I named this, they're called the Marshlands. This talks about all the animals and plants that are placed in the marshlands. It also talks about what is happening to them. All the animals are dying from pollution and from people not caring.
On reflection, this project was easy to incorporate into my curriculum in Louisiana Studies class. The literacy that the students developed will last them as long as our environment should last for us.